If you have a WordPress website, I highly suggest you download this free plugin that can do more than 20 other WordPress plugins combined. Let me show you what this plugin can do. You can change the order of the menu items in your dashboard, change the login URL of your website, duplicate content, replace your current media, change the default order of your pages, clean up your dashboard and the top bar, hide notifications from plugins, and so much more. In the description of this tutorial, I have timestamps, so if you want to go to a specific part in the tutorial, you can click on the timestamp and you go directly to that part of the tutorial. When I go too fast for you, you can go to the settings here at YouTube, go to playback speed, and slow down the speed of the tutorial. And if you want to go back a few seconds in the video, just hit the left arrow on your keyboard, and you will go back 5 seconds in the video. In this tutorial, I will walk you through all the features of this amazing free plugin, so let's get started. In order to download the admin and site enhancements tool, we go to ferdy.com/ASE. Hit enter and you'll be redirected to wpase.com. Here you can see what this tool does. There are a lot of free features. We're going to focus on the free features. So what we can do, we can close this and then we can go to the backend of our website. I go to plugins, add new plugin. And then over here, I search for admin. And that's all. And then automatically number 1 will be admin and site enhancements. More than 100 million installations. I mean, just kidding. 100,000 installations updated a week ago. It's untested with my current version of WordPress, but I'm willing to take the risk. I believe it's perfectly fine. So I click on install now. And by the way, a lot of nice 5-star reviews. I click on install now. And I activate the plugin. Awesome. Now we can go over here to admin and site enhancements and click on configure, or we go to tools and then the lowest one is enhancements. If you click on that, you go over here and here we can turn on a lot of features that are contained in this beautiful free plugin. Maybe you have the question, will this plugin make my website slower? Well, let's find out. If you would go to wphive.com, click on get started. And search for admin and site enhancements. Click over here. What you will see if you scroll down, overall rating 5 stars, WordPress rating 5 stars. And if you scroll down, you see it has a minimal impact on speed. So your website stays fast. If you scroll down, we see it only uses 38 kilobytes and it is faster than 99 of all the other plugins in WordPress. Your page loading time is increased by 0.03 seconds, and this is faster than 99% of the plugins. So when you use this plugin, it will not drastically slow down the speed of your website. So let's start with the first one. What I will do, I will use the first tab to show what is possible over here, and then the second tab to show you the results. So over here it says content duplication. If I would go to the backend to pages, and I want to duplicate the about page, there is no option for that. But if I turn this on, I click on expand, I save it, and I refresh the page. Now if I hover over about, I can duplicate it. And the question is, what should happen when you duplicate? Should you go directly to that new page, or do you want to go to the overview with all the pages? So over here we can decide what we want. I prefer to see the list view, save the changes. So what I've done with the pages can also be done with posts. So blog post 2, I can duplicate it and then I will see a duplicate of blog post 2 over here. So now we stay in the list view. That's what I prefer. So that's the first option. And that's how we're going to roll. We're going to cover all those beautiful features. And I'll explain to you what they do, how they work, and which favorite color is fitting for that particular feature. No, that's not what I'm going to do. I'm not going to talk about colors. So content order. By default, if I go to the pages, there is a order. Right now it's alphabetical. I can do it based on the date, based on the SEO, a lot of things. But what I also want to do, I want to have a manual order because normally I like to edit the homepage more than the other pages over here. So what I can do, if I turn this on, content order, I can expand it. And I want to turn it on for the pages. And when I do so, and I click on save the changes, and I go to the pages and I refresh the page, there will be a new tab over here, a new area. That is the order. So now I can say I want to have the homepage on top. And a lot of times I want to talk about marketing, adjust those pages. So right now we see home, marketing, and about. So now if I go to all pages, I will see home, marketing, and about. So in that way, we can adjust the content order. This is a really nice feature. I use my logo on my website, this blue one, and maybe I want to change the colors in my website and change the logo. Instead of doing that on all places, so over here and over here, I prefer to replace this image. So everywhere in the website I use this image, I want to show another image. So what I had to do before, I had to go to the media library. Where are you, media? Upload a new file, then go to all the places in the website and replace the image. But right now what we can do, I can go to this logo. If I would go to edit more details, right now it looks like this. But if I turn on this option, media replacement, save the changes. And if I refresh the page, look at this area over here. Now we can replace the media. So I select a new media file, select files. I want to go to my desktop and I search for logo SVG, open it. So I perform the replacement. There you go. Let's update it. And now if I go to the website, it is yellow, and everywhere where I use the blue logo, now this yellow logo will appear, which I really like. And keep in mind, we're still talking about the free version. So I really like that it's possible. I use this plugin on every single website I create. SVG uploads. Well, as you saw, we can already upload SVG files, but in SVG files, you can place viruses and stuff. So maybe you're like, I have some people working on my website, but I want to be the only one that can upload SVG images to protect your website. So if you turn this on, you can decide which people with certain roles can upload SVG images. So I will say that I, as the administrator, am the only one that can upload SVG images. So I'm sure that no malware or viruses will be placed in SVGs and my website can get infected. Do you want to turn on AVIF uploads? If you do so, and you save the changes, now I can go to the media library. I can add media files, select files. Now if I go to my downloads over here, I can upload an AVIF file. And it's very lightweight, only 42 kilobytes, and you can see through it. So it's a nice file extension. And with this option turned on, you can upload AVIF files and keep your website light. External permalinks. Normally when you have a permalink in your blog post or in your page, you have to enable this feature. So for every single link, you have to do that. Well, if you turn this on, it will be done automatically for every page you select. I select them already. And in that way, you don't have to do it manually. It's great for security and it's great for SEO benefits. So I would turn this on. Open all external links in a new tab. So if I would have a blog post in my website and I have an external link over there, let's see if I have one. Probably not, but if I would have a link that goes to my website over here and I click on it, it opens in the same website and I'm not here at We Are Web Design anymore. So what I prefer to do is when I click on an external link, I go to a new tab. In order to do that, just turn this on and it will save you a lot of time. Allow customer navigation menu items to open in a new tab. If I would go to a menu and I close this and I go to a custom link and I say https ferdy.com and the link is ferdy.com. I add it to the menu. I save the menu and I go to the website. I click on it. It opens in the same tab. I don't want that. So what I do, I will turn this on. I will save it. And now when I go to menus, I have an external link. I can open it in a new tab by clicking here, checking this. Save it. And now when I click over here, it opens in a new tab. Awesome. The latest one from the content management area, auto publish post with missed schedules. So if a schedule is missed, I'm scheduling a post for next week, even though if I did not finish it, but it's scheduled for next week, it will still be published. If you turn it on, that is what will happen. I prefer to turn this off. Save the changes. Let's go to the second area, the admin interface. Over here, we have a beautiful bar with a lot of information. Not all that information is necessary at the admin area. So what we can do, we can clean up the admin bar by checking this. And then I can say I want to remove the WordPress logo, this one. I can remove the home icon and the site name. I prefer to keep that one. I use it a lot. I can remove the customize menu, remove the update counter link. So when there's an update, you see it over here. Remove comments, remove new content. That's this one. I like to keep that. The howdy, I don't need it. So let's get rid of it and remove the help tab and drawer. So if I save the changes, look at this bar over here. It's so much better. Here I can go to the website. I can create a new post, media, anything. This is because I use the Yoast plugin, and over here there's no more howdy, just Ferdy Korpershoek. So in that way you can clean up the admin bar. And if you go to the front end of the website, if I refresh this, it's also cleaned up, but here I have a few extra options because this is a page, I can edit it. And since it's made with Elementor, I can edit this with Elementor, but it's still better than what it was. So I prefer to use this feature. Hide the admin notices. Sometimes when there's a new update, you see a 0 or a 1 over here, a red 1. I don't like it because then I need to click on it and get rid of it. You can hide them by clicking here. Then there will be one area in your admin bar over here saying notifications. And when you have a notification, then it will pop up, but you will not see all those different pop-ups. So that's also what I like. Disable dashboard widgets. If I would go to the backend, I already got rid of them. If I go to screen options, I can get rid of everything. I prefer to do it. I don't want to see that. I want to have a nice overview. But actually, for me, this is unnecessary because also here, if I turn this on, I can also get rid of those over here. So if we turn those on, save it, refresh, now they are gone. Also gone over here. I prefer to use the screen options, so it's not necessary, but if you want to, you can use it this way. But I prefer to get rid of them over here. Then hide the admin bar. Hide the admin bar on the front end for all or some roles. So if I would go and check the administrator, save it, and I go to the home page, there's no more admin bar. I prefer not to have that because I want to navigate through my website, through the front end, through the back end. So you can say that everyone else should have that. So that's an option for you. I turn it off. I want everybody to be able to go from the front end to the back end. So if I save it, I should have my admin bar back. Wider admin menu. Right now, this is the width, 160 pixels. If I can count them just by heart right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 160, I guess. And if I turn this on, I can change it to 220. It will be a bit wider. So here you can adjust that. Even 300 pixels is a possibility like that. I am okay with how it is, so I turn it off. And if I save it, it will be small again. So if there's some things over here that have too much text, you can make it wider. You can also make it even smaller by collapsing it. And then you see the icons. I prefer to work like this. Then there is the admin menu organizer. I love this. Look at this. If you turn this on and you save it, now you can click on the admin menu, and this is so cool. So there are a few things we can do. We can change the order. So I don't use Yoast that much. I use it, but I don't adjust a lot of things. So I can drag this all the way down. And now if I would save the changes, Yoast will not be here anymore. If I refresh this, all the way here, Yoast. So we can adjust everything. So let's say I don't use Blocksy that much. I can drag it below appearance. I can just play around with the the order. So let's say, I would say first pages, then post, then media, then comments. I save the changes, I refresh it, and then I see the pages first, post, media, comments. Okay, I can also check hide until toggled. So I can take a look at what I really use. I use the dashboard. I use the pages, the posts, media. I don't use comments that much. This one, this one, this one. I don't use it that much. Blocksy, no. Plugins, yes. Users, no. Tools, yes. Settings, this one I don't use. So what happens now, if I save the changes and I refresh the page, I can show everything. Then I see everything. If I would go to the dashboard, then I see the collapsed menu. So the things I mostly use. So I don't use Elementor a lot. I don't go to Elementor over here a lot. If I want to go to Elementor, then I click on Show All. And then I can click on Elementor. And then again, I can show all. So by default, if you go to any page over here, we only see the things we have selected over here. And we did that at Settings, Admin, Menu. So if I turn those all off, then by default, everything will be seen, especially when you get a lot of plugins, which this plugin is helping you not to do. But then it can be handy to hide a lot of things. Otherwise, this list can become really long. Right now, it's already quite long. So a really nice feature. One more thing, if I would go to plugins, add a new plugin, and I search for migration, I use this tool a lot. I think every day in my life, every single day. I activate it. Look at this. If I scroll down, it's called All-in-One WP Migration. It's in 2 lines because it's such a long name. What I can do now, I can go to Settings, Admin, Menu. I can scroll down and I can change this to Backups. Save it. If I refresh the page, look at this. It's called Backups. So not that long word anymore. So that's a nice addition. You can, everything that has this field can be adjusted. I can call this one Divi. How cool. I don't know if it's cool. It's funny, I go to Divi and then I go to Elementor. So cool. So that's a nice addition that I recorded later in the tutorial because I was like, hey, I forgot about that. Let's go back to Tools, Enhancements, Admin Interface, it's already there. So I turn it on and then Show Custom Taxonomy Filters. Well, if you use custom fields and custom taxonomy filters, and you would go to the posts. So let's go to the post. You can decide to display all those filters you have created or all those taxonomies you have created over here by turning this on. Right now I don't have that, so I don't see anything else over here. But if I would create a custom field with movies, then if I turn this on, movies will be displayed over here and I can click on it and then change the order and stuff. So that's nice. I don't have that right now. This is really cool because right now, maybe I don't want to see the author because I'm the only author. I don't want to see categories. I don't want to see text, but I do want to show a featured image. Well, if you want that, then enhance the list tables should be turned on. And there I can show a featured image. I can remove the date column, the comments column, the text column, ID column. If I save it, look at this, how different it looks. So in that way you can adjust the list tables. Various admin user interface enhancements. Well, if you turn it on, you see a few options. Right now, if I would go to the media area and I scroll down, I can click on load more. And if I have a lot of images, I need to click on load more a few times. So let me refresh this or go to the expand area over here. Media library, infinite scrolling. If I turn it on, save it, and I refresh this, I don't have to click on load more. Automatically, it shows everything. That is what I prefer. The other one, display active plugins first. So if I would go to plugins and let's do contact form. Let me deactivate it. Right now it's the third one. So the third and the fifth plugin are not active. If I turn this on, I save the changes. What I will see, those two should be totally at the bottom of this list. And that's the case. I love this. I hope you do too. If you like this video, please like it and feel free to subscribe for more upcoming WordPress related tutorials. Let's go to the latest one of the admin interface. Custom admin footer text. If I would go to the dashboard, I see thank you for creating with WordPress and version 6.8.1. I can change the text. So I can say, keep going Ferdy. And here I can say Ferdy. Focus. I can get distracted a lot of times, you know. There was a time, no, I'm not getting distracted right now. So keep going Ferdy. Ferdy, focus. Or what I prefer, because I don't want to be distracted, is get rid of those distractions. Those things like howdy, that WordPress thing over here, that can bring me to the WordPress website. I never use it. So I like that it's helping me to get rid of those things. All those things over here at the dashboard, I don't need those. So I really like what this plugin does. It helps me to focus more. Let's go to login and logout register. We can change the login URL. Normally, when I log out, I see WP login. If I would log in, I would go to WP admin, and then I can log in. What I can do, let's go back to tools, enhancements, login and out. If I turn this on, I can change the login to something else. So I could say for Ferdy only. Keep in mind, when you do this, remember this link, this URL. Otherwise, you can get into trouble. If I log out right now, and I go to the website, and I'm like, hey, I want to log in. /WP admin, hit enter. Oops, that page can be found. Why? Because normally a lot of bots go to your website and see if they can hack your website. So if you change the URL, that will make your website more safe. But keep in mind that you need to remember it. So if I would go to webdesign.com/for-Ferdy only and I hit enter, then I can log in. I will be redirected. I click on login and then I go to the website and then I will see WP admin. But if I would go directly to WP admin, then I cannot find it. So be careful with what you change over here. So I could say backend, but for now I will turn this option off. Although I really like the option, I would use it. Login ID type. Restrict login ID to username or email address only. This can be handy if people can choose their own username and then they forget it after a while. Then you can say, you know what, people can only log into this website using their email address. So if I log out, now to log in with my username, it says it cannot be done. But if I do it with my email address, then everything is fine. I also turn this off. Site identity on the login page. If I would log out, I will see the WordPress logo. I can change that with my own site identity favicon. So if I turn it on, I need to log in, of course, first. Save it. Now, if I would log out, now I see this one. I think that's better. Now I go to the website of my own website. If I would turn this off, let's log in first, turn it off, save it, log out, and I click over here. Then I go to WordPress.org. That's not really what I want. So that's how you can do that. A really small, but really nice feature. Login, logout. What you also can do, turn this on, save it. When I go to the website, nothing happens. But what I can do now, super cool if you ask me, I can go to appearance, menus. Let me do this real quick. I can create a new menu. Top menu, login, logout. Create a menu. What I can do, look at this. Login, logout. I can drag that to this menu or add it to the menu, save the menu. Now I go to the website to the customizer, which is gone probably. Yes, the customizer menu, I got rid of it. So let's go back to Blocksy, which I brought down over here. Or appearance, customize. And then here at the header, I can add a new element, menu 2. And then I click on menu 2. I select the top menu. Then I go over here again. I go to design, change this to white and this to orange. Close it. So when I'm logged in, I can click over here and I log out. When I go to the website and I'm logged out, I can click over here and I can click on login. Hey, I like it. I hope you like it too. And if you like it, you can use it. Here at Tools, Enhancements, turn that on. Last login column. If I would go to the backend, or if I go, I say if I would go, I should just say if I go. Let me see, users. Right now I see all this information. If I would turn on last login column and registration date column, save it, and I go to the overview of all my users, I see 2 new columns, registered on this date, and my last login was never. If I log out and I log in and I go to users, I see that I just logged in. So I can see when people logged in for the last time. Redirection after login. When people log in, you can bring them to another area. I bring them to the dashboard. WordPress does it by default. If people log out, so I log out right now. Wait a minute, what is going on over here? Okay, I log out. Then I go to this page. What I also can say, let me log in again to Tools, Enhancements. If people log out, especially the administrators, they should go to the contact page. Save the changes. And now if I log out, I go to the contact page. You can also create a page with a video like, hey, I see you're logging out. Please stay logged in. I miss you. But it's up to you. I totally leave that up to you. Let me turn this off because I don't want to go to the contact page after I log out. So that was it for login/out register. Let's go to the custom code. So we can add custom CSS for the backend. If you want to change this color, just do it over here, expand, and there you can fill in your custom CSS code for the backend. In some cases, if I would go to appearance, customize, this is a free theme, the Blocksy theme. I have a tutorial about it. I really like this theme. And over here I have additional CSS. And as you see, I use it. Not every free theme has this. So if you have a theme that does not support custom free CSS, you need to get the pro version, then you can use this option over here, custom front-end CSS, turn it on. And then if you, let me see, if you add some CSS over here, save it, then that will be visible on your website. I use the Blocksy theme for it, but if you don't have a theme that supports free custom CSS, admin and site enhancements is your friend. Insert head, body, and footer code. Really nice. If you want to add Google Analytics, the Tag Manager, AdSense, Facebook, a lot of pixel things, you can add them over here. Here for the header, for the head. Over here, if you want to place things in the body, and you can also place things in the footer. Really nice feature. I use Google Analytics. I use Google Tag Manager. I use AdSense. I use Facebook. I can place all those codes over here, and that will be added in the head of your website. So I would inspect this. And over here in the head, all those things will be placed. Really nice. Custom body classes, that's the same thing. You can add custom body classes to pages, posts, and then use the custom body class plugin to create classes. Well, I don't use it. So if you want to do that, you can search on how that works. I leave it off. You can upload ads.txt and app-ads.txt to your WordPress website. And you can really easily adjust them over here. So instead of downloading them, adjusting the content and uploading them again, you can just place the text over here and save it. And then those two documents will be created for you. Same with Robots.txt. You don't have to download it, adjust it, save it, upload it again, just adjust it over here. So that's I really like that feature. Save the changes. And then we go to the next one, disable components. So here the first one, we can disable Gutenberg. Well, if I create a new post, I automatically use Gutenberg. If I would say disable Gutenberg and then for the posts, save now or save changes, and I refresh this, look at this. We get the old editor from before 2017. So that's how you can disable it. For posts, I use it for posts, but I don't use it for pages. I always leave it on. I don't turn it off, but it's up to you. You can disable comments. So where do you want to disable comments? On the post, on the pages, everywhere. If you do that and you have comments on your blog post, they will be gone. So keep that in mind. If you have a blog post, you have a lot of comments. If you turn this off, they will be gone. But if you turn this option feature off again, they will be back and people can be able to leave a comment. So let's test it by disabling this for everything, save it. Then this should not be visible. So I refresh this. Now it's gone with the wind. Save it. You can disable the REST API. You can disable feeds. I personally don't use feeds. So other people can use RSS to have information from my website on their website, or Google can read it, but I never use it. So I would turn it off. Disable all updates. If you're like, I want to do everything manually, update everything manually, then you can click over here. And then if you get rid of this, turn this off, then you'll see all the updates there are. So maybe you're like, I don't want to be distracted while I'm making this website for a client or for yourself. Because what I do when I make a tutorial and I come back a day later and there's an update, I will update it. And then sometimes things change. So I'm like, you know what? I turn it off and then I first finish the website and then I check this off again and see if there are any updates. Disable smaller components. Well, these are things that are not used anymore within WordPress, but they're still somewhere in the source code. So I can turn those all off. Can make your website a bit faster. Save all these changes. Then it's time to go to security. You can limit the amount of times people can log in. So if there are bots that want to log in, you can say, you know what, you can use it only 3 times. And if you do it wrong, and a few times again, 2 times again, you will not be able to log in anymore. And when you do so, you'll see a log over here. So when people fail to log in, you will see who it was. You can see their IP address and their last attempt. And when they're logged out, after they tried a few times without succeeding. Then, really cool word, obfuscate author slugs. Well, sometimes on the internet, you can see the username of someone. And if you see that on the internet through Google search results, people see what your username is. And when they have your username, they already have 50% of the information they need in order to log in. So in order to hide that, do it like that. Then there's the email address obfuscator. If I would have my email address over here, people can see it, but bots can also see it and then you can get spam mails. What you can do, you can turn this on. And then instead of showing your email address like this on your website, you can grab this whole area. And that means that visitors can see it, but bots cannot see it. So that's a great way to make your email address secure when you show it on your website without getting spammed. Disable XML-RPC, protect your site from brute force DOS and DDoS attacks. Turn this off. I also yeah, I got a message once like, hey, you need to disable this, otherwise people can attack your website. And here it is a matter of a simple click. Before I had to contact the web hosting company and all that stuff. Right now I can turn it on and my website will be more safe. And isn't that what we want? A website that is safe. I think we do. Let's go to optimizations. Image upload control. Right now I don't turn this on, but what I can do, if I go to the media library, add a media file, I select a file, I can go to downloads and I have a really big file in resolution and in size, 13 megabytes. And the resolution, let's see, 8,500 by almost 6,000. That's a big resolution. So what I can do, I can turn this on and say the maximum resolution should be 9020. Save it. And now, when I upload it, I select it, you see the maximum resolution is 9020, so it's only 209 kilobytes. So I made it a lot smaller by turning off on this. Revisions control, if I would go to a post, let's go to the homepage, which is now on top. Click on it. I can see a lot of revisions over here. Revisions, 299. So 299 times I changed the website and you can see that all over here. So I can go back to another version and bring it back to the one from 4 months ago. I never use this. So what you can do, you can adjust the revision control to only 10 for the pages and for the posts. I save it. And now if I refresh this page, or let's go to all pages, to the home page. Now it says I only have 10 revisions. So it's not unnecessary to have so much revisions. If it's, of course, it's up to you, but I don't use those. Heartbeat control, this has everything to do with making your site a bit smaller. So I prefer to turn it on and then keep all the settings as they are. I save the changes, and those are 3 ways to optimize your website. Then we go to utilities, email delivery. If I would log out and I say I forgot my password, so I fill in my email address, get a new password, I get this email from WordPress. WordPress at wearewebdesign.com. If I want to change that, I can turn on email delivery, expand, and I say the sender's name is Ferdy, and the sender's email is info@wearewebdesign.com. Force the usage of the sender's name. This will override all those decided by other plugins. So if I have the plugin Yoast, there could be sent an email from Yoast@wearewebdesign. It will override it when I turn this on. I save it. And now if I want to log out or I ask for a new password, get a new password. Now I get an email not from WordPress, but from Ferdy, info@wearewebdesign.com. So that's so much better than this. And this is especially handy when you use Contact Form 7, because when you get an email from Contact Form 7, it will be from WordPress. And I always was like, for the last 15 years or 14 years, like, why can I just change it? And we can using this free plugin. Let me log in again. I go back to tools, enhancements, email delivery. If you want to make sure that those emails do not go to the spam folder, you can use the SMTP service account details of your host. So your host, the port, do you use SSL or TLS, username, password, bypass, and enable. And you can also send a test email if you want to. And you can see how that will look. In my case, it did not go to my spam folder. And since I'm the only one getting emails from this website, I leave it as it is without filling in these details. Then we have multiple user roles. If I go to the user area, to myself, right now I'm the administrator. If I will turn this on, save it, and I refresh this page, then here below, I can have multiple roles. Right now, when I only have a website providing my services, that's not really handy. But when I have an LMS website, a learning management system, or a web shop, then it can be handy to have multiple roles. Well, right now it's not necessary, but this is how you do that. I will turn it off. Then we can go to the image size panel. And if you turn it on and save it, and you go to the media library, go to any image, click on edit more details, then I see all the images that are generated using WordPress, and I can see how they look. So that's how you can use that. View admin as role. If I turn this on and I save it, there's a new area over here. If I go to the dashboard, right now I see all those options because I'm the administrator, but a subscriber should not be able to see all this. So I can test if everything is working. So I can see what does an editor see. Okay, they see all that. What does, I can switch back to the administrator, what does a subscriber see? Not that much. So that can be handy if you want to check what your editor can see. If you're not sure, like, hey, I have an editor or an author, what can they do, what can they not do? You can use this option and see exactly what your author can see. So if I go to post, can they add a post? Yes, because they're author. If I switch back to administrator, let me go back to tools, enhancements, turn it off. Password protection. You can make the whole website locked with a password. So if I turn it on and I say the password is hey there. So I save it. So now everybody that goes to the website will see a message like, hey, what is the password? And when they fill in hey there, then they will be able to see the content of the website. Another thing you can do is create a maintenance mode. We'll be back soon. The website will go live soon. Or if you're updating things, we'll be back soon. This site is undergoing maintenance. You can change the look and feel, save the changes. And now if somebody goes to the website as a user, it will see this message like, hey, the website is in maintenance. We'll come back soon. Then there's the redirect 404 to a homepage. So if you go to any page that does not exist, right now it says, oops, that page can't be found. What you also can say is redirect them automatically to the homepage. So then if you would refresh this, you would go to the homepage. Display system summary. Well, if I go to the dashboard and I go to the screen options and I turn on at a glance, I see how many posts I have, the comments, the pages, the WordPress version, and the theme. If I turn this on and I save the changes and I refresh the dashboard, I can also see the system and which IP this website uses. Turn it off. Search engines visibility status. Show admin bar status when search engines are set to be discouraged from indexing this site. So if I turn this on, I save it. So I go to the website and I see nothing changed. But if I would go to the backend and I'll go to settings, reading, and I say that nobody can go through the website, no bot can index it. Now there's a clear message saying that the visibility of the website is off. So you know when you make this website, there's a really clear area like, hey, your visibility for Google search engines or for search engines in general is off. Or like, oh, I don't have to forget that I need to put that back. So that can be helpful. And hey, I have an idea. Let's go back to tools, enhancements, utilities. That was the latest one. Let me turn it off, save it. So that brings us to the end of the free version of admin and site enhancements. So those were the free features within the free version of the free plugin. I'm just talking weird. Those are the free features of this plugin. There is a pro version. If you would go to ferdy.com/ASE, you will be redirected to this tool. And what you see, everything that's black is a pro feature, and everything that has a black dot in it is a free feature with pro things included. So it has more possibilities. So let's take a look at a few big ones. The big one is custom content types. And to give you an example, you can learn more. There is a website made using this plugin. Look at this. It's a movie database website. So you can click on Tom Cruise and you see all the films he's playing in. If you click on a film, you see the information all made using the pro version of ASE. You can also do this with the plugin called Advanced Custom Fields. But if you get the pro version, you can create something like this. If you want me to make a tutorial on how to use pro version, please let me know in the comments. I want to know if there's a lot of, if people want it, because it will take a lot of time to create something like that. Admin columns, so you can have more in-depth or more, what's the word? Look at this. You can have columns with more features and yeah, it just looks better. What else? Let me see. Media categories. So in your media library, you can have categories, especially handy when you create a website like this, a movie database website. You can optimize your images. Code snippets. Well, it's actually exactly what code snippets also does. There's a plugin called Code Snippets. I have a tutorial about that. So this plugin, the pro version, includes code snippets. You can totally customize the login page of your website. Make it looks like something like this. Yeah, this is cool. This doesn't look like a WordPress website, so that's what you can do. CAPTCHA protection. So you have even more security when people want to log into your website. That should not be there. That should not have the authorization. More protection from that. You have a form builder. Well, there are also a lot of other free form builders. So the funny thing is the free version makes sure that a lot of other plugins are not necessary anymore. But if you take a look at the pro version, then there's some features which are already included in some other plugins. So you can think like, okay, if I get this, I don't need all those other tools. Or you can think the other way around. Well, it's up to you what you want to do with it. But there are also some pro features like a form builder. There are also free alternatives for that. So yeah. And if you make more websites, you can export and import those settings with a lot of ease. So there are a total of 76 free modules. 55 of those are free. 28 of those 55 can have pro features if you get the pro version. And then there are 12 pro modules. You can click over here to see how it works. Well, as long there is a lifetime version, I would definitely take a look at that. If you look over here, if you want to use it for only one website, for your own website, just $59 for the rest of your life. I think that's crazy. Keep in mind that if you get the lifetime deal, that support. Let me see. Yeah, lifetime updates. So even after 10 years, you get updates, but you get 1 year of support. Well, I almost never reach out to any support. I buy things for the stuff, not for the support. So I think $59 for one site with all those pro features is an amazing deal. I don't know how long the lifetime version will be there, but that's really nice. I would go for 3 websites because, yeah, if you take a look at the price, well, or 10, yeah, it's up to you. Of course, it's up to you. If I would get a license for myself, I would get it for 10 sites. And then a one-time fee, no support after a year, lifetime updates. I think that's amazing. And there's even money back. If you try the tool and you don't like it, you get your money back. So let me know if you want to have a tutorial about the pro version of Advanced Admin and Site Enhancements. Thank you for watching this tutorial. My name is Ferdy. You already know it. Why am I saying that? Everything in the tutorial goes great and then at the end I have to spoil it, or spoil is not a good word. I'm making a mess of the end. Thanks for watching this tutorial. I hope you like my office. I put a lot of effort in it to make it better than my older one. I don't know if it worked. I hope you think it's a great looking studio. And good luck with making websites. Bye-bye.